Hey everyone, it's Mrs. Chapman, and today we're tackling a crucial part of writing an informational thesis statement of an extended constructed response. If you struggle with starting your response, stay tuned because this is going to help you set your writing up for success. First, let's define it. An informational thesis statement is the sentence that clearly states your main idea without taking a position. Unlike an argumentative thesis, it doesn't have to prove a claim. It just presents the topic and key points you'll explain in your response. A strong thesis statement for an informational ECR has two parts: the topic and your key points. Here is a simple formula for you to remember. Topic plus main points equals thesis statement. Now let's break that down. Let's use the example prompt on your screen. First, I'm going to read the prompt from top to bottom so that I know exactly what is required in my response. It says, read the article, The Printing Press, a world-changing invention. Based on the information in the article, write a response to the following. Explain some ways the invention of the printing press changed society. Write a well-organized informational composition that uses specific evidence from the article to support your answer. Remember to clearly state your thesis, organize your writing, develop your ideas in detail, use evidence from the selection in your response, use correct spelling, capitalization, punctuation, and grammar. Manage your time carefully so that you can review the selection, plan your response, write your response, revise, and edit your response. First, I need to fully understand the statement in the prompt and then flip it into a question. When using the RACE strategy, flipping the prompt into a question will help you stay focused and organized. It makes it easier to restate the question in your response, ensuring that your answer directly addresses what's being asked. Plus, it helps you guide your evidence and explanations so that every part of your response connects back to the prompt. Think of it as setting yourself up for success before you even start writing. The statement in the prompt says, explain some ways the invention of the printing press changed society. Once I flip that to a question, it now reads, how did the invention of the printing press have a significant impact on society? After that, I'm going to identify the topic, which is the impact of the printing press. Next, I will brainstorm key ideas that I've gathered while reading the text. Those key ideas are as follows. It improved communication, increased literacy rates, and spread new ideas quickly. Now, we can put everything together based on that formula that we previously discussed. My thesis statement reads, the invention of the printing press had a significant impact on society by improving communication, increasing literacy rates, and spreading new ideas quickly. There you have it. That's a solid informational thesis statement. Notice how it introduces the topic and outlines the key points that I will expand on in my body paragraphs. Let's connect this to the RACE strategy. When we're restating the question, your thesis should restate the prompt in a clear way. When we're answering the question, your thesis should directly answer the question by stating the key points. The C for cite evidence means each body paragraph will expand on your thesis by citing specific evidence. And for the E, explain, means your explanations will connect the evidence back to your thesis, showing why your points matter. Let's see what our thesis looks like broken down. See how both parts of the response follow the R and the A of the strategy? Your thesis sets the foundation, and your body paragraphs expand on it with evidence and explanations. While using the ECR template as a guide, you will focus on the first section at the top while drafting your thesis statement. Now that I have a strong thesis statement, my next step is to expand on it in my body paragraphs. Each key point from my thesis will become the main idea of a body paragraph. For example, one paragraph will focus on how the printing press improved communication, another on how to increase literacy, and the last on how it spread new ideas quickly. I will be sure to use evidence and explanations to support each point. Let's go over some common mistakes students make when writing a thesis statement. Sometimes the thesis statement is too vague. For example, the printing press was very important. While this is true, it just isn't enough to build a strong foundation for your response. Sometimes the thesis statement is too detailed. For example, The printing press, invented by Johannes Gutenberg in the 15th century, changed history by printing the Bible in Latin and making books accessible to middle-class Europeans. We can scale back on the specific details of this thesis statement because it could possibly get us off track while we're writing the body paragraphs. And sometimes we get informational and argumentative confused or mixed up by taking a stance when we don't need to. For example, the printing press was the greatest invention in history and completely transformed the world. Although this is a wonderful claim for an argumentative ECR, it is not appropriate for what this prompt is asking me to do. So, avoid being too vague or too detailed, and remember, an informational thesis should not take a stance. Here are a few pro tips for writing a strong informational thesis statement. Use clear and precise language. Stick to 3 key points to keep your response focused, maybe even 2 key points. Make sure it directly answers the prompt. And that's it. Now you know how to craft an informational thesis statement for your ECR. Remember, your thesis is just the beginning. You'll expand on each point in your body paragraphs with strong evidence and explanations following the RACE strategy. You've got this. Happy writing!